Welcome everyone to this edition of Rossiters Ringside Report. I'm Mark Chang. I'm joined by the head coach of the NNL boxing program, Leo Rossiter. And today's episode, we are going to pay tribute to the late and very great Ricky Hatton. Leo, if you want to kick things off.
Yeah, he died a couple weeks ago, and we've kind of held off on this episode, trying to get the cause of death. I've been searching all over. I can't find the cause of death. I just find out as early as today that there are reports that his death is a rumor, that he's really alive. However, as I checked more, there were several more legitimate sources saying that he, in fact, has gone to the great beyond. So um, there's still no cause of death available. So we don't know what happened, but it's all speculation at this point. But regardless of how he died, he's dead. And he was a fantastic fighter. He had very popular gentleman. Uh, so I feel that he hasn't really gotten his propers. There's a few fights where they've done a 10 count for him, but nobody's really gone in and properly eulogized him. Now, maybe that's because he's, not American, because he's British or something. So the, you know, local American news outlets or whatever have decided to sidestep that, just make mere mention of it. But I think he's fought here in America several times. He's he's beaten quite a few American fighters. So I think we should give him his propers and some due respect. And so I'm going to turn that over to you, because the you know enlighten us on his body of work and just how good this guy was.
Yeah, even from the beginning, he's had always tough opposition, and we can start seeing that around his 20th or so fight. Freddie Pendleton, very good fighter, very dangerous fighter, in fact. Eamon McGee, also a very good fighter. And then a couple fights later, he steps it up and he's going up against guys like Vince Phillips, Ben Tacky, Dennis Holbeck Peterson, Mike Stewart, Ray Oliveira, all those extremely good fighters. They're even a step up. And then is his signature win against Costa Tszyu, and Costa Tszyu, that's the first ballot Hall of Famer in anybody's book. Now, I will say he did enjoy, a 10, 11-year age advantage over Tszyu, but still, taking on a guy like that and being dominant is just incredible. And then, and even after that, still high-level fighters. He beats Carlos Mausa, Luis Collazo, Juan Arango, who was a devastating puncher, and Jose Luis Castillo. If you remember Jose Luis Castillo, a lot of people thought that he had beaten Floyd Mayweather when they fought. And unfortunately, a lot of people remember him for the losses against Mayweather and Pacquiao. But he fought them in their absolute primes at a time when, honestly, those two should have been fighting each other. Um, but he did lose those two fights, nothing to be ashamed of there. But in between those fights, he beat Juan Lascano and Paulie Malignaggi, also two very high-level fighters. So all in all, I think his body of work just speaks for himself. So I think that's really says more than I could say. So Leo, if you have anything in closing.
Yeah, I want to touch on Malignaggi there, because Malignaggi his lack of power, is irrelevant. He is a master boxer,
He
a,
is.
a master boxer, a great tactician, and that to me shows that Hatton, he was a strong guy. He had a good punch. But it also shows the skill level he was at, that he had a high level of skill to be able to outbox Malignaggi because when that guy Bruner was coming up and he looked invincible, and Malignaggi got in there and you know gave it gave him a boxing lesson. And Malignaggi didn't get the nod. I think it was, if I remember correctly, I think it was a split decision. Uh, but Malignaggi, fighting Bruner and in his prime and outboxing him, uh, you know, and by outboxing, because he lost the decision doesn't mean that he didn't put on a masterful display of boxing that night. And Bruner's win probably came because he had the heavier hands, because he threw the heavier punches, and that's um, probably why he got the nod with the judges, two of the judges. But now Malignaggi got the nod with one judge, if I remember correctly, and you know he had the superior boxing skills. So you take that back to the Hatton fight. You know that I'm using that Bruner fight as a example of just how good a technician Malignaggi is, and how good Hatton had to be to beat Malignaggi as he did, to get a unanimous decision. I believe that was a unanimous decision, if I remember correctly. So, he Hatton was more known for his power, I think, but that fight with Malignaggi just showed me that that he is an excellent boxer. I've seen some film of him recently, of Hatton recently, where they say he was training for a fight in December um, in Dubai, um, and he looked way out of shape, um, and which is not unusual for older fighters trying to make a comeback. And Hatton was known for blowing up, 30, 40 pounds over what he was going to fight at. And, it's a good possibility that he was trying to do what he did before. And at his age now, his heart just couldn't handle it. And it gave out. That's only speculation and assumption. Um, but that seems to be the most valid explanation for him, because he's not that many years from being in tip-top shape, and he's in the gym. He was working, getting back in shape, and that's the only thing I can surmise that would cause him to pass like that.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And not to
that's
get,
my
yeah, and not to
that's
get,
my analogy of Mr. Hatton, and
mhm.
if you have any insight on that, that'd be great.
Yeah, yeah, you know what? I don't even want to speculate on what happened there because we just don't know. I'm sure that ballooning up like that and coming down that often probably isn't healthy, but unfortunately, it's a process that many fighters go through. But that doesn't mean it's healthy to do. But going back on the Malignaggi Hatton thing, one thing that's incredible on both ends. First, we'll take Malignaggi, is that he's not the longest guy. He's not the rangiest guy. And for him to outbox the level of opposition that he's able to outbox and to be slicker than them, that's really a testament to his boxing skill. And then also for Hatton to be able to compete against him like that and win, that's really a testament because Hatton is not rangy at all. So it would be even, quote, easier for a guy like Malignaggi to outbox a guy who's not as rangy as Hatton. That really is a testament to Hatton's skill as well to be able to fight Malignaggi like that. Um, but no, I think that's all I have to contribute. I think he was a great fighter. I think he will be missed. We really enjoyed his fights, Anything else, Leo?
No, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it there. Let the let the screen go dark in respect for a very good fighter.
Agree. Well, thank you all for watching, and we will see you on the next one.